Leadership is a process of influencing people by providing purpose, direction, and motivation. So let's first talk about purpose. A leader has to provide the why to the people that he's leading, to his men. This is something that very often goes overlooked. It's very easy to first start to just want to solve a problem, to start looking at what process do I need, what are the systems of organization, what are the duties I should assign. It's easy for a leader to focus on these smaller issues like the micro tasks that have to get done and to miss the bigger picture, which is the why. And it's easy for a leader not to provide the why to the people that he's leading. It happens all the time. And what happens is that the employee, the student, the player can start to think to himself, why am I doing this? Why am I doing? And so this is a classic sign of bad leadership, right? When the people being led are asking themselves, why am I doing this? That leader has failed. And 9 times out of 10, the mission is going to fail. The goal will not be reached. You have to provide the why to the people that you're leading in order for them to actually to do it and to do it well. Otherwise, you're treating people as machines. Machines don't need whys, they just do. People need whys because people have freedom and free will to choose what to do. So you have to provide the why for the will to be able to grasp onto. I think a really great example of providing the why was done by the United States government during World War II. So I'm not sure if you guys know Frank Capra. If you don't know of him by name, you probably know of him by some of the films that he has made. And I believe also Mr. Smith Goes to Washington.
Get up there with that lady that's up on top of this Capitol dome, that lady that stands for liberty.
So he's a classic 1940s, 1950s filmmaker. And when World War II broke out, he enlisted in the Army. And the United States government gave him a very particular task which fit his skill set of being an expert director. They asked if he could put together a series of films to explain to the American people why we are entering the war. The series of these 7 films was called simply Why We Fight. And in a certain sense, it was a response to Nazi Germany's Triumph of Will, which was this propagandist film that was created showing all these people marching and things like that. So Why We Fight. I think there's a great example of the United States government not losing sight of the very important task of a leader of providing the why.
We were the leading example of that free world that Hitler was committed to breaking asunder. What would have been our defensive position if the aggressors had succeeded in conquering Britain, Russia, and China? We in North and South America would be left with the raw materials of 3/10 of the Earth's surface against the Axis with the resources of 7/10. We would have 1 industrial region against their 3 industrial regions. We would have 1/8 of the world's population against their 7/8. If we, together with the other nations of North and South America, could mobilize 30 million fully equipped men, the Axis could mobilize 200 million. Thus, an Axis victory in Europe and Asia would leave us alone and virtually surrounded, facing enemies 10 times stronger than ourselves. These are the reasons that led us, the American people, to change the Neutrality Act, to send aid to Britain, to Russia, to China, to make ourselves the arsenal of democracy.
I think a lot of American people understood the large stakes, the grand importance of this war, and the grave necessity to defend freedom, not just here, but abroad, because freedom everywhere was under attack.